Greetings to my V family all over the world. This is your chief, all right, bringing back to you something that I've done 3 times in the past, simply called the 8 basic building blocks. All right, as you know, I did the video almost 20 years ago, and then I did another video called 8 basic building blocks rebuilt, and then I did a video a few years ago called 8 basic building block express. Now, the 8 basic building blocks has been used widely all over the world, from every corner, from Europe all the way to Africa. And it has become one of the most widely used foundation modules, all right, that every single IR who starts their journey with us in Qnet is the first video they watch. The purpose of the 8 basic building blocks is very simple. It is to keep it simple. Now, you are today embarking on a journey with Qnet, which is a network marketing, direct selling journey. And you need to have enough knowledge, enough substance to get started. Because from where you are coming from, before your entry into this unbelievable industry, all right, you lack the basic fundamental understanding and knowledge of this industry and what you need to do. So the purpose of me creating, all right, and following the great masters around the world, all right, I picked, all right, from all the greatest networkers I have ever engaged with or had the experience learning from, and put together a very basic module called the 8 basic building blocks. So there are 8 blocks, guys, all right, starting from 1 all the way to 8. Now, the purpose of the 8 basic building blocks is very simple. We need a training module that is duplicable. Now, in our industry, network marketing, if you do anything that cannot be instantly duplicated by the person you are sharing it to, then that module serves no purpose. Because network marketing is all about duplication, duplication, duplication. So when I put together this 8 basic building blocks module, all right, which I learned from the great ones like Dato Sri Vijay, Dexter Yeager, one of the greatest networkers of all time, I recognize one fact, that we have to put it in a format that if I share with you today, tomorrow you must be able to do it with your downlines. It must be so easily duplicable. Now, if you are training your downlines, training your new signups every single day, and if you are training them with knowledge and an approach that they cannot duplicate, then what you say is useless. Because the flow of information, the flow of knowledge stops if there's no duplication. So if you talk to one person, all right, and that person understands you clearly, but cannot transfer it to the next person easily, then what you said have just stopped. Our purpose, all right, of the 8 basic building blocks is for there to be continuous duplication all the way to the brand new guy who's going to sign up in the next 1 minute or the next 1 hour in the next 1 day. Now, the 8 basic building blocks is a culmination, all right, of so many great networkers and their journey and their experience. So this 8 basic building blocks is proudly not a Pathman Senathirajah original. It is a Pathman Senathirajah copying from the great ones and creating a concept of training that is going to be so easy to duplicate in your organization. So let's start, guys. All right, basic building block number 1. All right, my favorite of all time, my philosophy, my mojo, my life mantra is called dream. Now, when I started this 8 basic building blocks 22 years ago, all right, and I sat down with a new sign up and introduced basic building block number 1, which is dream. Now, 22 years ago, nobody talks about this. Nobody, all right, it is unheard of. People used to panic and think I'm almost like hitting on them, all right, and I'm like referring to the dream they had last night. But that is not the truth, all right. This dream is the most important building block. That I am standing here today as a success story in this great company Qnet, as a student of Dato Sri Vijay. I attribute it for me starting my journey with having crystal clear clarity on what my dream is. Now, what is this concept of dream? And many of you watching this video for the first time, don't panic. I'm going to walk you through this concept of dream. Now, dream is what defines us as a human. If you think about it, all right, we are the only creation that is capable of dreaming, that differentiates us from a robot, from a machine. So you think about it, a robot and a machine can do today, all right, anything a human does. All right, that many jobs are lost because of automation and machines taking over and over and over. Even computers today have grown to an unbelievable level where they can do anything. Artificial intelligence. But the fact of the matter is, none of these machines, no matter how advanced they are, can dream except the human race. That's you and me. And the sad part is, right, this gift of us to have the ability to dream and want something more, all right, is what we don't take advantage of. We forget it. We are almost ashamed of it. So if you are watching this video right now, I am telling you, you are starting your journey with Qnet. You are starting your journey with QN Europe. Now, before even taking your first step, you need to identify why. What's your reason? What's your compelling reason? All right, what's your vision? What's your purpose of starting the journey with us? There must be some reason for it. All right, and if you don't have clarity on that reason, then your journey is not going to last very long. You're not going to be able to sustain throughout the journey because the dream is the fuel. Now today people are even afraid to use this terminology dream. They use compelling reason, vision. But all this is like a mask, like a cover up of this emotional, slightly romantic term called the dream. Now I am not going to hide behind the English language. I'm going to tell you point blank that you need a dream. You need a dream that is going to drive you every single day through this journey of network marketing. You need a dream to help you overcome every rejection. You need a dream to keep you strong no matter how challenging your journey becomes. And this dream is something personal. Now this dream has no rules. There are no certain set parameters to what you can or cannot dream. Because if you look at your journey of life, all right, all of us, all right, we have been programmed never to dream. If you have a job right now, wherever you are in the world watching this video, what has your life come to? Go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home. There is no room for the word dream. Your boss doesn't start his weekly general assembly by saying, what's your dream? All right, it doesn't work that way. So society today, the world as it is today, sadly, but a reality, has taken away this power from you and me. It's trying to suck away this ability for us to dream bigger, to want more, to find a reason that is so important to us that we are willing to do whatever it takes. Now the reason why the dream is so important compared to other parts of our journey of life, because in network marketing, there is no external force. There is no what I call negative motivation. I believe in your journey of life, to achieve anything great, there is either negative motivation or positive motivation. All right. Now in the traditional world of business or employment, it is all negative motivation. All right. The fear of losing your job, the fear of your boss disliking you. In traditional business, you would have taken a loan from a bank, all right, to open a traditional business, and every single day the fear of your business failing and you can't repay the bank is driving you. Think about it. If you were to open a traditional business and you sold your house or borrowed all the money from the bank and you open, let's say, a restaurant, all right, a simple restaurant, how many hours would your restaurant be open? How many days a week would you sit in that restaurant to make sure it becomes profitable? All right, let's say you start at 6 in the morning and you close at 12 midnight. And one day at 12 midnight, you're pulling down the shutters. All right, you're about to close, but you see a group of 50 people coming to your restaurant. What are you going to do? Immediately, you're going to open the restaurant, all right, and open the shutters. And they're going to ask you, but boss, are you not closing? No, I was just testing the door, you understand? And you're going to bring them in and you're going to start your stoves and start cooking and serving everyone. Because there is this sword hanging on top of your head, all right, that if you do not succeed in that restaurant, all right, you're going to be bankrupt, you're going to lose everything, and the bank is going to take your house, all right, and everything in it. And that is called negative motivation. Now in network marketing is slightly different. You're not selling your house, you're not mortgaging anything, all right, to buy a great product from Qnet. You must complete and embrace the first basic building block, that is the dream. And your dream can be anything, guys. There are no rules, all right, there are no limitation. Dream as big as you possibly humanly can. If you want a pink, all right, private jet plane with yellow polka dots, go ahead. If you want a Ferrari, if you want a slightly bigger house, if you want to upgrade your car, if you want to provide great education for your children, if you want to give back to your parents, or you want to own the city you live in, all right, or you want to fly around the world, all right, like a Maharaja, it's okay. As long as you unleash yourself, as long as you open and switch on that button again that makes you human, that you are capable of dreaming. There is no dream that is too big. There is no dream that is too small. All right? And you just need to sit down right now with the person who's introducing you to the 8 basic building blocks. All right? And understand what dream you want. What is that dream? Why are you doing this? Why did you decide to join us and start this journey with us right now? Why? Why? Find that answer. Find that dream. For me to help you find that dream is very simple. If you had all the time and all the money in the world, what would you do? Because there's 2 limitations in our journey of life. Time and money. And right now, if you're watching this video, you don't have both. All right? You don't have both. Okay? You don't have time because go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home. You don't have money because whatever concept of employment will never give you real wealth. Now imagine if you had all the time and all the money that you could ever dream of. What would you do? What would you buy? How would you live? All right? And that's how I found my dream. When Dato Sri Vijay told me many years ago, Pathman, what if you had all the time and all the money in the world that you could ever want? What would you do? How would you live? What would your dreams be? All right? And this is fundamentally important. All right? That basic building block number 1 is the core foundation, all right, that you are going to step on all the way throughout your journey in Qnet. All right? That this is the foundation, the dream. All right? Because without a dream, this journey of yours will not make sense. Without a dream, entrepreneurs do not survive. And I want to close this basic building block number 1 with a statement that was shared to me by one of the greatest networkers of our lifetime. All right? Where he clearly said, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. If the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. And what this statement means, which is my life journey, my mantra, all right, whenever I talk to Dato Sri Vijay, that's what I hear. If your dream is big enough, the facts don't count, Pathman. All right, it simply means that if you have a dream that is big enough, that is strong enough, all right, nothing can discourage you. All right, a rejection cannot discourage you. Negativity from people cannot discourage you. Negative media, Google search, whatever cannot stop you, cannot slow you down. That anything somebody presents to you as a fact also cannot stop you. A lie definitely cannot stop you, as long as your dream is big enough. So welcome to basic building block number 1, the most important building block, that is your dream. Now welcome to basic building block number 2, and this is the word, all right, commitment. And immediately everyone freaks out because this is seen as almost the scariest word in the English dictionary. All right, is the word commitment, because it means committing. It means making a decision and sticking to it. All right, and that's why words like commitment phobia applying to relationships or any journey in life. All right, commitment, commitment, commitment. But I am here today on basic building block number 2 to share with you that this is a very important part of your journey. That this is now you embarking on a business. That you are a business owner. This is not a hobby. This is not about plucking flowers at home and singing Kumbaya. This is not something you are trying and hoping it works. This is a serious decision that requires serious commitment. Now, what is commitment? To me, again, commitment changes based on individuals all over the world. Now, if you look at me as your upline, as your chief, representing the great ones, Dato Sri Vijay and Japadas Bismarck, our founders, my commitment is 100%. 7 days a week, 22 hours a day, all right, and maybe now 18 hours a day, all right, as I'm aging gracefully and beautifully, all right. But the fact of the matter is, I am a full-time networker. That this is not only part of my life, this is my life. Now, don't freak out, okay? Not everyone needs to be like me, but you still have to decide on the commitment that you want to give your Qnet business, because you are no longer employee mentality, all right? Because you don't have a boss, all right, deciding and telling you what to do. There is no contract with Qnet that requires you to give 10 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 4 hours a day, all right? There's nothing. There is no control mechanism. That's why network marketing is called free enterprise. It makes you have that decision-making power of what kind of commitment you want to give. And this is fundamentally important, that you have to decide while watching. This is the first video you're watching of me, all right, your most basic video. And on basic building block number 2, you need to decide why, all right, you join this business. Going back to block number 1, what is your dream? Now let's be logical, guys, all right? The bigger your dream, the more unbelievable your dream, all right, it requires greater commitment. So think about it. If you are saying, you know, Chief, this is my favorite part of the journey, I have a dream, I want a bicycle. All right, now if you want a bicycle and that is your dream, and nobody can change your mind and nobody can expand your thinking, all right, including your psychiatrist, doesn't matter. All right, that is your dream. Now this doesn't require a large amount of commitment. You can do this business 1 day a month, 1 day a year, and potentially get your bicycle. But if your dream is a private jet flying first class, changing lives of people around the world, all right, to quit your job and become free, to buy your dream home, to upgrade your car from Toyota to BMW to Mercedes to Ferrari, all right, to buy your dream home somewhere in Spain or your country where you live in. Now, these are big dreams, and this requires great commitment. Now, commitment is a personal decision, that your upline is not your boss. All right, the person sitting down with you right now and talking about these 8 basic building blocks, he's not your boss. He or she has no power over you. I have no power over you. You're not our employee. You are an independent IR, independent representative, independent distributor of Qnet. You are independent. That you are in control of your tracking center. You decide what kind of commitment you want to give. But on this video, all right, I want to tell you, all right, to help you make that decision. Now, firstly, all right, if you are full-time, that means you don't have a job, all right, that you are full-time in Qnet, that this is the only business you are doing, then guys, I'm sorry to say, this is 7 days a week, all right, to the maximum number of hours you can potentially give, because your journey, all right, it can take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years to reach the ultimate goal of max out, all right, but why don't you finish it in 1 year? Reach max out in 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. The faster, the better. And if you want to achieve max out, which is the highest commission possible for one tracking center, all right, then give more hours if you are full-time. If you are full-time, please give more hours. All right. Now, you are going to sit down with your future downlines and have this conversation of commitment. All right. And you would want them to give more hours, because you know with the more hours they give, with the right support, they're going to achieve their goals and make their dreams become a reality even faster. Now, if you are part-time, That means you have a job. You work 9 to 5, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home. Doesn't matter. I still respect it. You're putting food on the table. All right? And you may tell us, Chief, I cannot give 7 days a week. I cannot give 18 hours a day. All right? But you still have to decide how many hours you're going to give a week. How many days you're going to give a week. Because you need to give clarity to your upline. You need to have clarity in your own mind on the number of hours, but you cannot leave it flexible. You cannot say, depends. I will give as many hours as I think I can. Depends on this week, depends on next week. Because it requires you, all right, to prioritize your life. It requires you to prioritize. Once you decide on your commitment, then you put it into a priority list, that what is going to be more important than your Qnet business. Now this is important. Now for me, it's very simple. I'm full-time. This is my life. I love it. I'm a full-time network marketing entrepreneur. All right, and I want to build this organization bigger and stronger and more powerful all over the world on behalf of Dato Sri Vijay and Japadas Bismarck, our great founders. All right, and I give it all. So my priority list is very simple. It's God, all right, my family, immediate family, not some distant cousin's wedding will not take priority over my training. All right, my auntie is sick, I will rush. My brother needs me, I will be there. All right, but I'm not going to attend every birthday, every wedding, because if you come from a large family, that is going to take up your whole week and you won't have any time for your Qnet business. And that requires you to create a priority list. After deciding your dream and after deciding the commitment that you're willing to give your business, then you create a priority list which gives you clarity, all right, of what is a priority above your Qnet business, all right. And once you get that clarity, life is beautiful. So I have clarity, guys, all right. Nothing is more important than one or two things, all right, than my commitment to this business, my commitment to all of you, my downlines all around the world, my commitment to building this organization bigger, guys. Now you have a dream that requires commitment, all right, commitment towards the business. Now be very clear with your upline. If you say I can give 3 days a week, no problem, we'll take it, but that 3 days are non-negotiable. If you say you can give 4 days, now if you tell your upline, all right, or you are telling me, Chief, I want to buy, all right, a private jet in 5 years, but I can commit 1 day a week. That's a problem, guys. It doesn't match. Your dream is here, your commitment is here. Right? It's not going to happen, I'll tell you right now. Now if you say, Chief, I want to buy from my Toyota, upgrade to a BMW 7 Series in the next 1 year, and I'm willing to give you 4 days a week, done. That's a doable ratio of commitment towards the dream and the results that will pay for the dream. All right, so you got to be logical. All right, dream big, bigger commitment. Dream small, smaller commitment. All right, okay, and don't expect tremendous results and get frustrated when you don't see results. All right, because you did not commit. So commitment is fundamentally important. And the commitment to this business is not only building the business. You have commitment to presentation, presentation, presentation. The core activity of this business that is going to raise your commissions every week. You got presentations to follow, you got commitment to follow the system of your organization. You belong to an organization which has their own system. You got commitment towards the V, your grand upline, VCon, all right? NSS, online NSS, like V Connect, all right? You need commitment to watch and learn, okay, from the videos that are available on vtube.net, okay? It's commitment towards the business, commitment to learn about the products, commitment to attend trainings. Now somebody said, Chief, why do I have to attend? Why can't I do it on my own? Read a book at home, all right? Watch your video privately. Guys, nothing replaces power of association. Nothing replaces going to an event or joining an online event, listening to the great V partners, AVPs, V Council. All right, this is commitment required to the business. First is commitment to the business. Second, guys, you are starting your journey right now. And the second aspect of commitment is very important. Commitment to your personal growth. All right, commitment to you growing, because as you start your journey, the 8 basic building blocks is more than enough for you to start your journey. But as your organization grows from 2 people to 20 to 200 to 2,000, it requires you to grow with the size of your organization. And this commitment to your personal growth requires you to connect with your uplines, like how I'm connected for the past 20 over years with Dato Sri Vijay, because he has helped me grow to be able to stand here today as the upline to the whole world. All right, guys, understand this, that you need to grow. All right, and this requires commitment from you. All right, to attach yourself to your upline, to attach yourself to your organization system, to attach yourself to the system of the V, to understand the concept of emptying your cup and following your upline and finding a mentor to follow. Because as you have to inspire more and more people to grow, you need to grow. So commitment is very simple. First is commitment to your business, commitment to your dream. All right, commitment. And commitment is about time. Now a lot of people say, Chief, what about a balanced life? I'm sorry, guys. If you want financial freedom, all right, if you want to really make that dreams become a reality, there's no such thing as a balanced life. All right, it's called delayed gratification. Work now and enjoy later. All right, give 100% commitment now and then enjoy life of financial freedom like all of us later. Now don't tell me Sunday is a family day, because you know family day. Father sitting and watching cricket or football, mother in the kitchen, kids outside playing in the playground. That's family day? All right, family day is taking all your family, flying first class, all right, to the Bahamas, flying first class to Mauritius, all right, to Europe, and enjoying financial freedom and a beautiful holiday. So network marketing, all right, in Qnet is about delayed gratification. Work now, all right, and reap your rewards later. Okay, so commitment is fundamentally important. Commitment to the business, all right, by hours and days. All right, you can be part-time but have a full-time mentality. All right, commitment to your personal growth by following these unbelievable systems by your upline and the V. All right, and a platform like VTube that has all the videos that you can learn from the great ones of our organization and industry, especially Dato Sri Vijay and Jayaprakash Bismarck. So basic building block number 2, fundamentally important, commitment. And now let me introduce to all of you, my Qnet family, basic building block number 3, the list. Now when you are sitting down with somebody and doing the 8 basic building block, now this is serious work. You think about it. Let me review. Basic building block number 1, the dream. Inspiring, beautiful. You have engaged your new sign up, got the person locked in to find his or her dream. Number 2, basic building block number 2, the commitment. Very important. It is up and down discussion. It is, between both of you to identify the parameters of the commitment that person, your new sign up, is going to give to this business, to his or her personal development. Commitment, I love that word. And now we come to real work, all right, the list. Now this list is a mysterious thing. Okay, whenever I sit down with my new sign up and I come to basic building block number 3, because I hope you remember, the purpose of the 8 basic building blocks is you to watch it together with your new sign up and experience every block. Alright, sharing your wealth of experience and everything with your new sign up. Don't just give them the video link on YouTube and say, you watch, tomorrow call me. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to do it together with your new sign up, because they need to find their dream, they need to define their commitment. And block number 3, the list. Now I don't know why, whenever I sit down with a new sign up and I tell them, okay guys, now we got to make a list, I see complete panic in their face. And today I realize why. Most of us, you and me, all right, we have not written down more than 1 line or 1 signature since we left school or we left college. So writing down something with a pen and paper is something so weird, All right, so obsolete. It is like a rare thing today in today's world, because everyone is smartphone, iPad, keyboard, you understand? But no exception to this. The list I'm going to introduce to you requires you to write it down with a pen and a piece of paper. All right, now you may be asking me, but Chief, why don't I just store it in my contact list or use my iPad? Cannot. All right, this is a non-negotiable rule. You must write it down on a piece of paper, because this is not a compilation of names and dreams. This is transferring from here, all right, going through that processor and then coming out as a decided name. All right, so there's two lists that I want you to complete on these 8 basic building blocks. Number 1, going back to block number 1, is a list of your dreams. Whatever you have thought about, whatever you have decided that these are the dreams that you really want to become a reality in your journey with Qnet, then you write it down. All right, now put the word dreams. Take a ruler, underline, like in school, underline one thing one time, not very important. I want you to underline 3 times. That's how important the dream is. And write it down. It doesn't have to be a Mont Blanc pen. It can be any pen. Just write down your dreams. This is something personal. All right, because this is what you want. This is the revival of your dreams. After so many years of being stuck in the rat race, after so many years of being in that hamster's wheel of go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home, now you are restarting your journey of life with this unbelievable company Qnet. And I want you to write down your dreams. This is yours. You don't have to show anyone. This is yours. Right? Your dreams, however small it begins and however big it grows to become. Alright, but your dreams, write it down, fold it, put it in your wallet, put it somewhere safe. Alright, keep it in your safe in the bank, okay, after making a copy. But you must write down your dream list. That dream list is a reference point. It's a reminder of why you started this journey with us. It is a reminder to keep you strong when you feel like giving up. It is a reminder to keep you switched on when you feel like switching off. Alright, it is the fuel that is going to make you a warrior through all the challenges that you are naturally going to face from 0 to max out. Alright, and now the second list is the starting point of your journey. This document called the name list is the most fundamental basic document in your journey of network marketing. So I am telling you, if you don't have a name list, your chances of succeeding in Qnet is very low or almost 0. That means you are not taking this business seriously. That means the person talking to you hasn't got your attention, haven't got you to flip the switch that this is what I want to do. And every one of us, every V partner, AVP, VC, even our founders, the great ones, Dato Sri Vijay and Jayaprakash Bismarck, they all started with a name list. And I remember my name list. I still have my name list. Alright, now this is a name list. Again, write down name list. Underline 3 times. Alright, with a ruler to amplify the importance of it. And then you start. Now people always get confused when they write a name list. Don't complicate it. Alright, you are supposed to write the people you know. It is called your circle of influence. Your circle of influence. That means throughout your journey of life, from the time you were born as a baby, all the way to who you are right now watching the 8 basic building blocks, you have engaged with people. Some closer, some not close. But you have a circle of influence. That means people you know who they are and they know who you are. Now your name list is divided to 3 categories. That is hot, like me, your upline chief. Hot, warm, cold. Hot, warm, cold. Hot, warm, cold. Simple. Now somebody asked me, Chief, how many names should be in the name list? My answer is non-negotiable. And I'll explain to you. It's very simple. The minimum names, you want to go 1,000? I'm so happy. You want to go 2,000? Depends how sociable your life has been. But the minimum number of names on your name list must be 150 names. Nothing less. Now, if the person you are talking to, you watching this video, if you are telling me, sorry, I only got 10 names. Guys, it is unbelievable and unacceptable. Please go and see a psychiatrist. Were you living under your bed your whole life and your mom and dad were throwing a slice of bread under the door of your room? Alright? Okay? United Nations, every single statistics I've seen in my life, alright, guarantees that the average human being on this planet, even in the remote mountains of Himalayas, alright, even the darkest corner, right, in the jungles of South America, every human being has an average circle of influence of 200 people. Alright, so if you cannot reach 150 people in your name list, there is something seriously wrong with you. Now think about it. Alright, how many relatives you have? Okay, how many old friends from school, primary, secondary, college? Alright, colleagues at work. Okay, people you meet on your journey of a day, 24 hours, the driver of your Uber car, alright, the beautiful girl or guy, handsome guy who sits with you next on your train, okay, the shop where you always pick up your breakfast sandwich, okay, the barber shop, the saloon, alright, the doctor's clinic, not only the doctor, the nurse, the pharmacy person, the security guard, the gardener, the car park attendant, the person who throws the newspaper into your house if you haven't gone digital, your Apple shop guy, your Samsung shop guy, your pet shop guy, your favorite restaurant, waiter, chef, next door neighbor, this side neighbor, across neighbor. Alright, and then you get married and immediately your circle influence grows bigger because welcome mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, cousin-in-law. Alright guys, just on this video alone, I've given you 150 names. I counted. Alright, that's why they call me chief. Okay, so there is no excuse on the planet why you can't have 150 names. Because this is your starting point. This is your foundation. These are the people you are going to pick up the phone and talk to. These are the people you're going to do a presentation to. These are the people who potentially are going to take you to max out like that. Because you sign up this guy, boom, he opens up a new market. You sign up somebody else, you list, boom, opens up a new market. Alright, these are the people, like everyone in our network today around the world, every V partner, every AVP, every V council, the person who is sharing these 8 basic building blocks with you, we are all ultimately names on somebody's name list. I was in Dato Sri Vijay's name list. As simple as that. Every single one of our millions of IRs around the world, right, was on somebody's name list. But you got to write it down. Now the biggest problem people make is when they create a name list, while they're creating the name list, they prejudge. Oh my God, the biggest mistake you can make. Oh, that uncle, nope, he won't be interested, he's arrogant. Oh, that auntie, very rich already, not interested. This guy, oh my God, if he joins the network, he'll be a pain in my journey. Oh, this girl, oh, nope, she doesn't like me, I don't like her, cancel. So what happens is your name list, alright, is not a filtration list. It is not a list where you pick and choose the best people that could potentially be your prospect. Don't make the mistake. Because throughout my journey, the people that I thought would be the best downlines for me ended up being the worst. And the people who I thought will be the worst downlines for me became some of the greatest downlines for me. Alright, and helped me max out. Okay, so the first rule of your name list is never, 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 never prejudge. Never prejudge, guys. Alright, just write down the names. Now, you are sitting down with somebody after this, alright, because you are now watching the 8 basic building blocks. Next, you will be sharing the 8 basic building blocks. You can use memory joggers. Memory joggers is to help that person with their name list. So this is homework you jointly do with the upline and the new sign up. It's a joint effort. You sit down. If you can't sit down physically, do it on Zoom. Alright, do it on Skype. Use whatever technology there is today. But you got to do this name list together. So use memory joggers. How many people live in the US? How many people you know live in Malaysia? How many people you know drive a Toyota? How many people you know have twins? How many people you know who just got married in the past 6 months? Alright, and you help the person with memory joggers to help them, yes, oh yeah, twins, oh yes, oh Toyota, yes. And you will be amazed how the name list will cross to over 150 names. 150 names divided to 3 categories. Hot, the people closest to you. This is best friend, brother, sister, childhood friend, girlfriend, wife. Sorry, you can't have girlfriend and wife together. Alright, wife, these are the closest people. Mother-in-law, high possibility. Mother, these are your hot zone lah. Alright, people who will never say no to you. These are your closest. So put them in the hot zone. Then you got warm zone. Warm zone are people you are friendly with. You meet once a week for a drink, or you go to their house. They come to your house. They are colleagues who you work with for a long time. Alright, some level of neighborhood friends, community and all that. And then you got cold. Cold is your barber who changes every week. Alright, the Uber driver, the shop where you buy 1 apple a day to keep the doctor away. You know them, they know me. You may not know their name, and sometimes basically just know their name. But they're still people you know who know you. Alright, so you got hot, warm, cold. Alright, and your list needs to be divided accordingly, but the total number in your list cannot, must not, impossible to be less than 150 names. And to all of you guys, this is your starting point. This is your foundation. Alright, these are the first bricks you're going to lay to build your max out tower. Are you guys with me? Alright, you got your commitment and dream, which is your ultimate foundation, and your name list are the first foundation bricks. Alright, the first bricks from the foundation that is going to build your max out tower. So take the level of seriousness to the highest level for your dream list and your name list. Because without this concept of lists, you are starting on the wrong footing. Alright, your journey with Qnet will be very difficult. So start right and make sure it is a written name list on a piece of paper, non-negotiable. Make sure you complete your list. Basic building block number 4, the invitation and prospecting, or inviting and prospecting. So basic building block number 4 is divided to 2 parts. And first let me start with the invitation. Now you've gone through your dream, your commitment, your name list. And now you're going to start your journey. Alright? And this is the scariest part for some reason for many networkers, because you are an entrepreneur for the first time. You are promoting Qnet for the first time, and you have a name list of 150, minimum of 150 people, and together with the person who got you signed up, you are going to make the first set of invitations to your hot zone and your warm zone. Now this concept of invitation has evolved over the years, and it has changed according to society today. When I started, society was not that open-minded to be invited to come and look at a business opportunity. It was unheard of. It was something very rare. A business opportunity would reflect a traditional business, alright? Buying a restaurant, joining joint venture to start a company. It was very uncommon in the early days for people to be invited to look at a business opportunity attached to an industry called the network marketing or direct selling industry. Guys, which is today crossed over 200 billion, and Qnet being one of the fastest growing network marketing companies in the world, 100% e-commerce. So guys, the concept of invitation requires you firstly to have a certain mindset. And the first mindset that I want to instill in you, alright, to raise your level of posture. Because invitation or any form of engagement with a prospect to come to look at the Qnet business, to come and look at the QN Europe business, is your posture. Your posture is the deciding factor of the success of converting that person into buying the product, becoming a sign-up and starting the journey as your downline. Now, to create the first mindset, recognize this fact. Today, you represent a multi-billion-dollar e-commerce network marketing company in an industry which has a combination of good perception and bad perception. Alright, so you are dealing with the reality of what people think of the direct selling industry or the network marketing industry. But the first paradigm shift you need to instill in your mind, always, which I do until today, is they need me more than I need them. The minute you are desperate, the minute you show any form of desperation, boom, the presentation will fail, everything will fail. You don't have to be desperate. You have with you great products, a great company, a fantastic e-commerce platform, which they need. So always recognize the fact and build in that mindset into your mind that your prospect needs you more than you need them. Because they need an opportunity. They need to start their own business. You still have 150 people on the list to talk to, but they only have you as one. Alright? Because you represent the future concept of direct selling with Qnet. We are ahead of the rest of the companies. We are so far ahead in a different league of our own, thanks to the vision of Dato Sri Vijay and Japadas Bismarck. So what is an invitation? Recognize the word. It is an invitation, not a presentation. So your main purpose of an invitation is to get that person to come and meet you, coffee shop, attending a Zoom presentation, coming online to Skype, coming to a group presentation that your organization has put together on a weekly basis, or you going to their home to do a presentation. That's your goal. Your goal is to connect. Your goal is not to convince. Your goal is not to do a presentation. That's the next block. We'll talk about it after this. So the first part of block number 4 is the invitation. That's it. So stick to the invitation. Now the invitation is divided simply. The professional invitation and the not professional invitation. For the lack of the better word, that's how I categorize them. The professional invitation and the not professional invitation. Now this concept of invitation very much depends on who you're talking to. Alright guys, if I'm talking to somebody in my hot zone, my best friend, my brother, Satyo Kuna, alright, or somebody I grew up with, okay, somebody I've known my whole journey of life, we are like that. We grew up together, we ate together, okay, we just spent all our journey of life together. Then you need a not professional invitation. As simple as that. Bro, let's meet for coffee tomorrow, 8 p.m, my place. Poop, finish. The guy is going to come, the girl is going to come. It is normal in your relationship to invite them. Now don't make that invitation into a professional one. Don't call your bestest BFF and said, hello, my name is Pathman Senathirajah. I'm involved in an e-commerce globalized business and I want to have 40 minutes of your time, 20 minutes, 15 minutes of your time to share this great idea with you. Your friend is going to think you're cuckoo. Your friend is going to think you lost it. When it comes to your hot zone, your invitation is normal and not professional. Don't complicate it. Don't make it awkward. Go directly. Bring that person to you. Hey bro, what you're doing? Let's catch up on Zoom. Alright? The most you can say, I have something exciting to tell you. I have something important to tell you. But don't go beyond that. Limit it to short and sweet. Bro, let's catch up. Bro, usual place, 4 p.m. Bro, I catch you after office. Alright? Oh, hi sweetheart. I'll meet you as usual at your place for dinner on Tuesday. Alright? So it's part of a comfort invitation. That's why it's not professional. Alright, don't train yourself into this professional inviting machine. It will never work. Keep it simple with the people closest to you. Now when you go to your warm zone, when you go to your cold zone, you need to convert your invitation into a professional invitation. Now there is no specific way to do a professional invitation. My philosophy has always been the less information you give, the better. Don't get sucked in on the call or WhatsApp, alright, or email or a Zoom chat into doing the presentation. Separate the invitation from the presentation. Alright, the biggest mistake people make is that while they are doing the invitation, they start answering questions. That person is going to ask you, is it MLM? Is it what? Is it an investment? Is it Amway? All right, they might even say, is it Qnet? Then you are stuck. And then you go into their black hole of spiral, complicated questions. You panic. No, yes, it is Qnet. But don't believe what you read on Google. Don't believe what you read on the internet. Please, bro, please, let's meet. Give me one chance to show you how great my company is. Ta-da! Desperation. All right, and what happens? The guy switches off. Hey, bro, please, don't waste my time. Pop. All right, and that is where you lose that prospect. So the greatest danger of an invitation is when you give too much information. You give too much information about the company on the call, and you can never project the information on a phone call or on WhatsApp. All right, immediately you lose that prospect. All right, and every time you lose the prospect, there's one name being removed from your 150. All right, and just because of your desperation or your wrong strategy of invitation, you could have lost an Arun George, an Adli, a Sati, a David, all right, and you lose that whole opportunity. All right, so remember, in an invitation, keep it simple. All right, I always invite people by saying, hey, hi, I just partnered with a Hong Kong-based company, and I'm looking for a few more strategic partners. I can't promise you anything. All right, but if you like what you see, we talk. If you don't like what you see, it's cool. What is it about? Don't worry, I'll show you when we meet. I'll show you on the next Zoom call. I'll show you when we meet for coffee. All right, as simple as that, all right, is my invitations. I keep it so short and so sweet, all right, that the person doesn't become suspicious. Because today there are so many things happening around the world that every prospect is on guard. They put up a wall. No, I'm not interested. Whatever it is, I don't care. Pop. But if I make the invitation short and sweet, all right, so now I project my invitation in many ways. Hey guys, all right, I just saw a business concept, all right, I'm not sure whether it's going to work for me, but I need to identify 2 or 3 people, so let's look at it together one more time, all right, and if all of you agree, then we get started together. Is it MLM? My answer is always no. Is it Qnet? My answer is always no, guys. All right, I do not want him to have a preconceived idea. Now, if he comes to the meeting and finds out it's Qnet, so what? All right, at least I got a chance to present, answer his concerns, or he gets angry with me and says, you lied, and he walks away. Cool, put him on KIV. Trust me, after a few months or 1 year, I'll call him again and he will need us. All right, because he will do more research and he will find a balanced perception of our great company Qnet. As simple as that. So keep it simple. Don't give too much information. But remember, your goal is to bring him to you, either through Zoom, Skype, video call, or face-to-face. But do not lie. Don't say words like this is a job. Don't say words like this is an investment. Because when you lie at the beginning and that person comes, he is going to say that you are a liar. All right, and that word will spread in the network marketing community and unnecessarily tarnish your name. I like to use business concept, business idea. I partnered with a Hong Kong-based company. I partnered with a Malaysian company. All right, I'm looking at an e-commerce platform that is going to allow us to make some seriously good money over the next few months. All right, I want to meet you for coffee to share this idea with you. So I keep it simple. Now with my hot zone, unbelievable, I found it, guys. Let's meet up for coffee. It's okay. All right, it's up to you. So keep your invitation short and sweet. Don't allow your invitation on the call or on WhatsApp or whatever communication to evolve into a presentation. Now, when the guy says yes, he or she can meet, I always give them a choice. So what is good for you, Wednesday or Friday, Saturday or Monday? All right, I don't say Wednesday 8 p.m. are you free? All right, what if he says no? Then you have to reschedule for next week and next month. So when you give a human being a choice, they will generally choose. Now if they tell you they are not free on Wednesday and Friday, don't desperately say, okay, doesn't matter, any day this week I'm free. You lose your posture. The purpose of invitation is to maintain your posture, because now you are a globalized business leader. You belong to a multi-billion-dollar industry with people earning 80,000, 100,000 US a week. Alright guys, so treat yourself respectfully, and that respect for yourself must transfer through your posture to your prospect. Alright, as simple as that. If he says he's not free on Wednesday and Friday, I said, well, I'm fully booked this week, guys. Alright, bro, I will call you later, we fix another time. Alright, and I always use the word pioneering. I always use the word, I'm looking for strategic partners. I want to make him feel important. I want to make him feel that I'm not just selling something. Now, another art of prospecting that has evolved today because of the great products of Qnet is that you can also approach people from the product angle. Alright, Home Pure, Biodis, Cheap Pendant, Nutrition, whatever. Many networkers today are using the product angle, alright, of that person acquiring one of our great products and then evolving it into a full-fledged presentation. So your invitation, remember, is an invitation. Your only goal is to bring the person to the table, you to their house, them to your house, or on Zoom or whatever technological platform you are using for your presentations. So that's the invitation. Next is prospecting. Now don't confuse the both. Prospecting is completely different from invitation. Now you have a name list of 150 names, and I have a rule that that name list must keep growing every month. And my rule is that name list must grow by 10% every month. So if you got 150 people in January, February, you must add 15 names onto that list. And that is the meaning of prospecting. That means looking for prospects, identifying prospects who you are going to do the presentation on a future date. You are not inviting the guy to a presentation, you are adding him to your prospect list. Now this is the next paradigm shift. Alright, the minute you went online to Qnet.net and you agreed, click, agree, accept, proceed, pay, alright, you have become a networker. And the minute that moment happens, alright, a radar appears on your head. Imagine there is a radar going, alright, that means all your life you have left your house and you have met an average of 30-40 people in a day, and they mean nothing to you. Hello, hi, hey, shake hands. You go to a shop, you buy a $2,000 phone, you buy a $1,000 watch. You don't even collect the name card of the salesperson. You go to your bank, you go to the mall, all right, you take Uber, you fly, you go to the airport, but your radar was not on. So now you are a networker. Recognize this fact. Today you are an entrepreneur, and your business requires you to add people into your name list, to add an average of 15 new people a month into your prospect list. And therefore you can constantly do presentation, because guys, these 15 people you're going to add is potentially a max out king or max out queen in the list of 15. So I always tell people, when your radar is on, you still have a normal social life, but your purpose is different. Now you are a networker, like Bond, James Bond. And you got a mission every time you step out of your house. You got a mission every time you take a flight. You're on a mission every time you go to a different country. There is a mission every time you go to a party, a wedding, an engagement. And your mission is to identify a prospect. So now you walk into a party, like me. You walk into a party. Last time you say, hey, and you go back home. Alright? Too many drinks, you don't remember anything. But now you go to a party, your radar is on. Alright? Now don't go to a party like you're desperate, looking for prospects. You walk into the party, where's the prospect? That guy there. You will never be invited to a party again, trust me. Remember? Posture. So you go to a party, you shake hands with the people you know, alright, who most probably are already on your list, alright, who you're going to do a presentation, invitation presentation very soon. But there's bound to be a lot of strangers, alright, and you mingle. You are used to mingling, you are all social experts. But now when you mingle, your goal is name, phone number, name, email, name, phone number, email, phone number, email, phone number, email. Alright, and when you go back home with that name card, alright, guys, don't staple it on your name list. Write down the name, write down the contact number, it's your name list. Write a note where you met the person, because you're not going to call the person immediately tomorrow. Don't make this mistake of meeting somebody at the party at 10 p.m. today and tomorrow 8 a.m. Hey, remember, I met you at the party yesterday. By the way, I'm partnering with the Hong Kong company. I'm looking for a few strategic partners. Can I meet you for coffee today? No, chill out. Nobody does that. That means you're a psycho. Too desperate. Desperation is the greatest enemy in network marketing. Posture. Alright, and call him after a few days just to say hello. How are you? We met at the party. And then call him maybe after 3 weeks with a proper invitation, and then do your presentation. It is fundamentally important that you recognize this. That everyone you add to the name list, put a note. Now these are new people you are meeting. Alright, go to the bank, open 15 bank accounts. So you meet 15 bankers, they willingly give the name card. Alright, do an insurance desperation. Oh, can I look at your insurance packages? Today the world has changed, guys. Alright, everyone is giving out their phone number and names, and all you have to do is add 15 into your prospect list. Now don't go randomly somewhere you see a name and number and take. That's the last resort. Alright, you need to meet them face to face. They need to remember you. And the impression that you give them when you met them will decide how effective your invitation will be and how effective your presentation will be. Now remember, your radar is on. So everywhere you go is like, and you see a prospect, and you walk. Now don't walk like run. Hi, I found you. No, relax. Posture. Bond. James Bond. You understand? It's all about posturing. You are not a salesman. You are an entrepreneur, all right, with a multi-billion-dollar e-commerce network marketing company. So have that pride, have that posture when you're doing your prospecting. So what is the rule? Prospecting is to add names on the list. Invitation is to invite people on the list. And then only presentation. So remember that flow so you don't get confused. Now today, with the world of social media, alright, you can do prospecting on social media. Alright, you're going to meet a lot of people on social media, no problem. Alright, your goal is to get them on a Zoom call because they may be in South America, Africa, Middle East, wherever. Alright, again, posture on social media. Alright, don't project yourself on social media like a psycho. And don't project yourself on social media as a loser, alright, taking pictures of your food only, alright. Project a business image, project an entrepreneur image. Doesn't mean you wear a suit and tie, alright. I don't wear suit and ties anymore, alright. The world of entrepreneurs are changing, okay. And what you need to do is project yourself properly. So go back to your social media pages, alright. Project a business, project success, project wealth, alright. And then you can prospect people on social media. I believe today prospecting on social media is a great platform to add people to your name list and then invite online and then do presentation on Zoom, alright, or Skype or FaceTime or whatever tools that you have to use on the e-commerce platform. So bottom line, guys, recognize this fact. You are now an entrepreneur, alright. Be proud of it. You are a networker, alright, but you're not a salesman, alright. You're not only selling products, but you're looking for strategic partners to join you on this fantastic journey of entrepreneurship to potentially be financially free and millionaires, which is 100% what's happening all over the world with Qnet, guys. So remember, invitation is to bring them to the table. Keep it simple, short and sweet. Alright, you're bringing them to you, and then you go into presentation. And prospecting is what you do every day, but your goal is to get that name, to get that number, and write it down on your name list and put notes, and then approach them strategically without desperation and constantly with posture. So invitation and prospecting, basic building block number 4, fundamentally important on your journey to max out. Welcome to basic building block number 5, and we are finally here. The most important basic building block, presentation. Now you have done your dream, your commitment, your name list, your dream list. You have figured out the best way to invite and how to constantly find prospects to add into your name list. And now it begins. Now this basic building block of presentation freaks everyone out, right? And don't panic, guys. It's human nature. After death, the greatest fear is presentation, public speaking, presenting an idea, a concept. Even in your job, all right, when your boss suddenly tells you, okay, tomorrow you are doing the presentation to the clients, okay, and you freak out because being in front of people and communicating the concept of Qnet will naturally elevate the fear in you to a whole new level. Now, firstly, guys, go back to understanding the paradigm that I want to plant in this basic building block. Presentation is the bread and butter of our business. That you can be a biggest dreamer on the planet, you can have the best commitment, the best name list, the best inviting and prospecting skill set. But if you don't actually do a presentation, nothing is going to happen. And in my years of experience as chief, as your upline, I've come to realize that people, when they're reaching closer to that aspect of needing to do presentation, they all freak out. Now in this basic building block, I will erase all your fears. I will tell you exactly what you need to do and how to overcome any challenges that you're going to face. Now firstly, imagine that the presentation is a rubber band. Okay? There is no one way of doing a presentation. Alright? Every organization, every country, every group, every subculture does your presentation very differently. But I am here to show you what are the limitations. Now imagine the presentation is this rubber band. Alright? You can see it. I'm holding it against my black jacket. And you can do it in any way possible. This rubber band can be stretched, can be crossed over, but you must never break the rubber band. That your presentation can use certain strategies, techniques, whatever salesmanship, whatever your uplines, your organization wants to implement, and you keep doing it. Alright? And you keep doing it everywhere around the world. But the rule is, don't convert your presentation to a point where it snaps. What is this snap in the rubber band? That's where you lie, you misrepresent, you give completely wrong information, alright, about the company, the comp plan, the products, the pricing, the income levels. Now that is misrepresentation and lying. So once again, this is your chief reminding you, the presentation is like a rubber band. You can do whatever you want, alright, to present this amazing Qnet business, but don't present till the rubber band snaps. Then you have crossed the line of ethics. You have crossed the line of misrepresentation and lying. And we do not tolerate this in Qnet. Stay within the rubber band and you will get as many sign-ups as you want. You will achieve your goal. Now this concept of presentation is ultimately to transfer information to the person or prospect and to convince the prospect to say yes to the purchase of the product, to signing up, to starting the journey with you, your team, your organization. Now, presentation, alright, is something that you were not born to do. Neither was I. Alright, my first presentation until today, I think I confused the prospect more than convincing the prospect. Now, usually, your comfort level of presentation is your hot zone. Because again, you have a relationship, you have trespass, alright, they love you, they are willing to just give you the money anyway, alright, out of friendship or relationship, but you still do some sort of presentation about Qnet, and the person says yes. So when you work with your hot zone, your confidence builds up, alright, and you actually feel, I can do a presentation. Now when you go to the warm zone, you go to the cold zone, now you're doing presentation to people who don't know you, may not like you, who are complete stranger. And the only thing that you are using is your presentation to convince that person to say yes, to sign up, to buy an amazing product from Qnet, and to say yes. Now, presentation has certain parameters, the rubber band. Right? First, every person has a different tee up to a presentation. You can tee up the concept of entrepreneurship, the concept of self-employment, being your own boss. You can tee up the philosophy or concept of e-commerce. All right, some people go direct and tee up direct selling, network marketing, the future industry of the world. You can show some data about how many people are losing jobs and how that they will never be able to earn money as long as they remain in employment, that traditional businesses cost too much money. But here you have Qnet that allows you basically to own your own business, all right, with a reasonable amount of money, buying a fantastic product, all right, and having limitless potential of income. You can start with a tee-up. Everyone's presentation has some different version of a tee-up. Again, this varies from group to group, country to country, culture to culture, person to person. And then after that, you got the 4 pillars of every presentation. In any shape, size, it comes back to the 4. Firstly is the company, all right? Then it's the product, then it's the compensation plan, and finally, the projections. All presentations around the world comes back to these 4 pillars. Now, people project the company of Qnet to the best of their ability. Now, when I started, I had very little to say about the company because the company was just a few days old, all right? But today, you have so much to say, all right, about how big we are around the world. Think about it, all right? Qnet, all right, 20 over years old, over 20 million customers around the world, 40 offices around the planet, headquarters Hong Kong, regional, our very own tower in Malaysia, our relationship with various organizations around the world, and recently, all right, the African League or Football League Cup, CAF, and of course, our grand relationship with the Manchester City Football Club. And over the next few years, Qnet will establish different relationships with different organizations to amplify our credibility, our integrity in the global market. Now, you present the company in many different ways, guys. All right, you have online information, you have videos prepared by the company to project who we really are. We still have catalogs for that physical touch and experience. All right, then you talk about the products, guys. Now, the products today, there are so many products in so many categories that you will not be able to carry all the products for that guy to have a physical touch and feel, or that prospect girl to have a physical touch and feel. So don't panic. There's enough videos, all right, online, which you can download in your phone, show them. And remember, I'm not a big supporter of showing them all the products. I'm a firm believer that I direct my prospect towards the product line which is well suited for him and our organization, all right, which I think will benefit him or her the most. And most organizations will lean towards a certain product category, monkey see, monkey do, duplication in the organization. All right, guys. So products today online has so much information about what products we retail, the videos that project how the product can benefit the customer or prospect. So you don't have to worry about that, all right? But don't overload the prospect with all the products. Don't bring a big box and put there and say, this is the Home Pure, this is the Biodisc, this is the watch. Then take 10 catalogs of Trip Saver and put there and show them. There is no need for that, all right? Today, technology is your partner, all right? And technology is the greatest partner for a network marketing entrepreneur, all right? Then you have the compensation plan. Again, the basic compensation plan is what you show to the prospect. Basic. Don't jump into details of rank advancement requirement and every single detail. That can be explained to the prospect after he or she signs up. That you don't have to focus and overwhelm the prospect with too much information. You just want to show the basic structure, left, right. How do they bill? All right, what they need to understand is what is their potential income. Then comes to the final aspect, which is my favorite in a presentation, which is projections. Now, this is where you are trying to convince the prospect to believe in the income potential, all right, of being a Qnet IR, all right. And this projection to me is my strongest tool of closing the guy or girl for them to say yes. And I show them various scenarios, best case, worst case, where they are, all right, what they could do, part-time, full-time, all right, to give them clarity on the potential income that they can earn. But remember the rubber band. As long as you stay within the rubber band, no lying, no misrepresentation, don't give wrong information, because they can check it out immediately. Now, to reach a prospect or inviting a prospect, there are multitude of methods that you can use today. My favorite is one-on-one. I believe in the power of one-on-one. All right, inviting that prospect. Location is everything. Because you invite, the guy said yes. Now you got to tell him where and what time. Now, this has so many variables. It depends on what is available in your country, your culture, all right, what is available for you timing-wise. So to me, when I invite the person one-on-one, all right, I have the various options: coffee shop, hotel lobby, all right, roadside stall, Asian culture. Okay, you may want to invite him to your club where you are a member. You might invite him to a home office, all right, where you are running a home office with your leaders and downlines, which is a very common practice today in most countries around the world, all right, that they have a home office, the prospect comes, do the presentation, give the information. Now, this location cannot be too noisy. Please don't take him to a club. Please don't take him where there's alcohol, because I don't believe in alcohol and I don't like to mix alcohol and business. All right, take him to a respectable place where he will feel comfortable, you will feel comfortable, all right, and you're inviting him. But don't fall into the trap. Just because you're inviting a prospect, all right, doesn't mean that you invite him for lunch, dinner, dessert, all right, frappuccinos, all right, and your bill for your presentation is 100 US. And the guy says no. Remember the principle of network marketing. Don't do anything which is not duplicable. It's all about duplication. So until today I invite a prospect, the most I will buy that prospect is a cup of coffee. All right? Okay? And I will go and buy the cup of coffee and bring it to him. Okay? Now I don't have presentations during lunch. I don't have presentations during dinner, because the expectation of the prospect is come for free food. Alright, the intent is wrong, your cost goes up, it is not duplicable, alright, and then your organization gets stuck. So whatever you do, remember, it must be duplicable. Alright, I have invited prospects when I had no money to 5-star hotels and sat down and not had coffee and just did the presentation in the lobby to maintain my posture. Alright, it's all about posture, and I know when you get started, you may not have the financial resources that we have today. Today, I can invite prospects anywhere in the world, all right, to have the most expensive dinner, but it cannot be duplicated. And if it cannot be duplicated, don't do it. Then your organization suffers. All right, so create a system in your mind. All right, what is your threshold? Coffee, then coffee. All right, not coffee, donut, sandwich, and a pie. All right, but Starbucks is not cheap. Do you understand? So when you meet your prospect, you set the tone. Don't panic. You don't have to massage and you know, suck up to your prospect just because you want him to sign up, because that's desperation. All right. Now, the first few presentations, your upline will support you. It's a combined presentation of you and your upline. So don't panic. All right. Your uplines are not going to throw you out there and say, present. Do your own presentation. No. All right. It's always uplines who come and support in the beginning, because practice makes perfect. All right, simple as that. And you have great uplines who will be there to support you in your first few presentations. So what you need to dress up, don't overdo it, don't underdo it. All right, the rule is very simple. Use common sense. In Asia, wearing a suit and tie and sitting in a coffee shop is not common sense. All right, but don't wear shorts, don't wear t-shirt. All right, the simple, use your common sense. All right, if you're meeting the guy in a 5-star hotel, wear a jacket. May not want to use a tie. The culture is changing. People don't trust people in ties nowadays. Okay, but don't use a t-shirt and jeans and present in a super 5-star hotel. All right, you got to maintain a level of professionalism, but apply common sense. My simple rule is long sleeve shirt, collar, khakis, perfect. You want to put on a jacket to raise the bar higher, go ahead. Now, if you are going to meet your uncle in a roadside coffee shop next to a ditch, guys, don't put on a suit, all right? The public is going to beat you up, you understand? And don't dress to the point of making your prospect uncomfortable, and don't dress up too relaxed that the prospect does not respect you. So find a balance. The world is changing. My golden rule, use common sense. Now, if your upline is helping you with the presentation, he should not be there when the prospect arrives. Alright, your upline must be somewhere else. Alright, because edification of your upline is fundamentally important. Remember, the prospect knows you but doesn't know your upline. If you're bringing your upline for the closing, if you're bringing the upline to do part of the presentation like comp plan and projection, then build your upline up. Alright, when the prospect is seated, everything settled, you call your upline. Speak respectfully. When your upline comes to the restaurant or comes to the lobby of the hotel, you stand up, shake hands, show that respect, because that is auto-edification. Now, your prospect doesn't need to stand up. He doesn't know who your upline is. He doesn't care. But he's observing all of this. And your behavior of edification will empower your upline to effectively, do the presentation. Now, how long should the presentation be? I don't know. I do mine in 12 minutes. Before I open up for questions. Okay, what is your goal at the presentation? Your goal is to close. Your goal today is to close the presentation on the spot. He can sign up with his credit card, you got e-cards, whatever. But try to close, strike when the iron is hot. Alright, this is what you need to do. You need to close your prospect immediately. Alright, if possible, with the support of your upline. Alright, now present and handle the questions. Generally, when you present Qnet, your prospect will listen. He's intrigued because there's a potential money. If he or she doesn't have a preconceived idea of Qnet, read something on Google, read something online and already negative, listening to you just to show you courtesy. Alright? Now prompt them to ask questions. Now there's two types of questions. Smart questions and stupid questions. Now I do not entertain stupid questions. If the guy said, oh, I read online, you're illegal, I will answer. Alright? And we have all the answers. Now the morons who talk about our legality, illegal or legal, alright, just state to them the facts. We have been here for 20 over years. Alright, the fastest growing network marketing company in the industry. A multi-billion-dollar empire we have built, guys. Alright, we have offices, partnership, everything. You do your best. But if the prospect has a preconceived idea about the legality, don't argue. Don't get into a fist fight. Give information. That's it. Alright? Provide information. Ultimately, you cannot force somebody to decide. They will decide on their own. The golden rule I learned from Dato Sri Vijay. But you can push for the close. And remember, you got support from your upline or you are an experienced presenter. You will present. Now, don't waste time. Don't show that prospect that you got 10 hours to have chitty-chatty chat with the person, answer all their kumbaya questions, alright? The minute I see, and this is common sense, when you see the range of questions going to stupidity, alright, listen, I don't think you're ready for our business right now, alright? Thanks for joining me. I'll get in touch with you another day, alright? And shake hands. No, sit down, I have a few more questions. Now don't waste time answering stupid questions. Answer intelligent questions. If the guy is asking, where do I place my brother? Can I sign up somebody overseas? What product? Can I buy more than 3 products? Alright, can I buy a 5,000 BV package? Can I buy a 7,000 BV package? Or should I start with one? Now these are intelligent questions. Then you invest your time. But general rule, I will not spend more than 45 minutes to 1 hour with any prospect. Why? Because time is money. Alright? And I have a lot more presentations to do. Okay? That's how you should be. Busy. Alright? With a lot more presentations. What is my golden rule? In 30 days, the minimum number of presentations that you must do consistently is 15. Alright? Rule 3. If you're doing less than 15 presentations a month, part-time, full-time, doesn't matter, then you're not serious about this journey. Then you must go back to commitment. You must go back to dream and ask yourself how serious you are. So one-on-one presentation to me is highly effective because you get to focus on one individual. Alright? And remember this. If while the presentation is happening, the guy is talking on the phone, screaming on the phone, put down, blah, 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 and disrespecting you, recognize the fact that you represent a multi-billion-dollar company, that you are an entrepreneur, and you don't need to sit down and take crap and disrespect from anyone. So if he's too busy to focus on the presentation, stand up, shake his hand or her hand and say, listen, let's reschedule this for another day. You look busy and I have another meeting to rush to. All right? And no, I'll cut the line. No problem. All right? I'll call you next week. Take the paper, take the pen, walk away, posture. Now, obviously, in network marketing is all about posturing. All right? It's all about your confidence, your belief. I still remember in the early days, I would walk into a 5-star hotel. All right? Like I own the hotel. It could be my first time in the hotel. All right? And I would seriously walk in and say hello to everyone. Okay? And everyone is confused. Like, who is this guy? But what does a hotel staff do? They wave back. All right? They acknowledge your presence. They will never ignore you. There's just hotel service. And I would walk into hotels, sit, prospect sits down, waitress come, read the name on the name tag. Remember this. All right? Nobody will address a waitress by name unless you are somebody who has been in the hotel 100 times. All right? So if I see Sarah on the name tag, I say, Sarah, good afternoon. I'll have my coffee, one sugar and milk. And straight away the prospect says, how the hell did he know her name was Sarah? And look at him walking into the hotel. He like owns the hotel. Now, anything you do to project your posture is fundamentally important. All right? Now, not all of you have Ferraris on day one. So don't worry. Posturing, all right? Perception, okay? Almost like not fake it till you make it, but confidence is fundamentally important. So walk into any presentation location with the fullest of your confidence, and that will get the attention of the prospect. All right, this is fundamentally important. Now, you also have group presentations where 1,000 people in a hotel, 500 people in a hotel, all right, and that's okay. I believe a great balance between one-on-one and group presentation is fantastic. What is a group presentation? Your team, your group will have once a week, once in 2 weeks, once a month, a large-scale mega presentation. Now, this is important because when you bring your prospect there, it's wow, unbelievable. They get to see the crowd, their confidence build up. Now, don't send your prospect in like chickens and cows, all right, in a farm. You join, you bring your prospect. You introduce your prospect to whoever you need to introduce. You sit down with your prospect, all right, on next to the chair. Take out your book, take notes during the presentation. It's okay. You have repeated this note 3,000 times. It's all right. But you do it. And if your prospect falls asleep, nudge. Good point. All right? And then do notes. Nudge again. Nudge again. Nudge again. Whatever it takes. You want the guy to focus on the presenter and get the click. After that group presentation, take your prospect. Introduce to your upline. Introduce to your team members. So he gets that feeling, that energy or power of association and excitement, and usually there'll be a rock star presenting anyway. And finally, you come to the option of home meetings. This is something I personally like, all right? Home meetings is something which I believe is highly effective. So you invite one prospect, 2 or 3. Now, don't invite 30 prospects, all right, to your home, because there can be one negative fella, all right, who will spoil the whole experience, all right, at that home meeting. So what you need to do, if you're having a home meeting, 4 or 5 people. Now, don't serve biryani, all right, pasta. Serve coffee, tea, cakes, snacks. Don't distract them with the food, because they didn't come for the food. They came to see a great opportunity called Qnet. And most important in the home meeting, have your tools. The whiteboard, everything prepared. Your family must be supportive but not a distraction. Wife, husband, children, mother-in-law, all have to understand that this is business time. They can sit, they can learn how to nod their head on everything you're talking about, even your kids, yes. Alright, this head nodding thing I learned when Dato Sri used to do closing for me. Whenever he did closing for me, he would look and say, Pathman, remember this? Yes. Just smile with your big eyes and nod. It's affirming what your upline is saying. An affirmation is important. An affirmation by action, by environment, by presentation, by knowledge. Everything is important. So now you have one-on-one meetings. Large scale hotel hall meetings organized by your group, organized by the V. Then you got home meetings, highly effective, personal touch. All right, you got family support, upline comes also. All right, don't make it a dinner, make it a tea, afternoon, something like that. So food is not a distraction, highly effective. And today, with technology, presentations can happen anywhere, anytime, on your mobile phone, iPad, desktop, whatever. Zoom meetings where your upline can still come. All right, the rules of online presentation are the same as any of this presentation. The only difference is the platform, that you're on a screen. But take the effort to dress up. Choose the right location in your house, preferably an office setting where you got a shelf of books or something. Now, don't walk around during your presentation, go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, eat some food. By the way, Qnet is a great company. QN Europe is a great company. No, focus. It's still a business that you're running. So if you are going to run your business online, which is the future, presentation, training, set up an area in your house that will reflect your seriousness of doing this business. And your uplines can easily join on a Zoom call, all right, Skype, FaceTime, as support for the closing. Same rules, edification of your upline. Now, I believe technology is the future. I believe that today, doing a presentation on Zoom, doing a presentation on any video platform is as effective or even more effective than one-on-one group meetings and home meetings. All right, and the beauty of using technology today is through this concept of presentation, you get to reach any prospect anywhere in the world using technology. So today, presentation, basic building block number 5, is fundamentally the most important block that you need to understand. All right, understand the rubber band. Keep your presentation within the perimeters. Don't let this rubber band break. If you let this rubber band break, then there's a problem with your organization. That means there are people lying, misrepresenting, all right? But as long as you stay in the rubber band, any way of presentation, based on your culture, the modality you're using, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's a group, home meeting, or online presentation, the rubber band theory is the most beautiful theory. Now, information is provided so that person understands the beauty of e-commerce, network marketing, Qnet, all right? And you need to be able to understand what is your ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal of a presentation is to close the person, for the person to say yes. And the way you project the information, with the way you show the projection potential of what that person can earn, all right? Because remember, he may only want the product, no problem. Shake hands, they bought a product. But the majority of your prospects, the vast majority of your prospects are coming into our business to start their journey as an entrepreneur, to start their journey to focus on making money so their dreams become a reality. Have all the information, but don't have too much information. Right? Because presentation requires the right amount of presentation. Get support from your upline. All right? But don't be dependent on your upline. You have to, as soon as possible, after 5, 10, 15 max presentations, you should be able to do it on your own. That's the purpose of duplication. And the Qnet presentation is the simplest presentation to communicate. The complan, easy. All right, the numbers, the details. We have the simplest compensation plan, but the highest paying compensation plan in the whole industry of network marketing and direct selling. Then comes the golden rule. All right, if you plan to take your journey seriously, if you are looking at financial freedom seriously, then simple. 15 presentations a month, non-negotiable, minimum. You want to do more, no problem. But consistently, you should be focused on 15 presentations a month. Welcome to basic building block number 6. Follow through or follow up. But let me tell you why I came up with this term follow through. Because it's exactly like one of my favorite sports today called golf. Now think about it. You did a presentation to the person. Now generally at the point of the presentation, your goal is to get them to say yes. And today I believe the trend, because of the evolution, because of the recognition of the direct selling industry, of network marketing like Qnet, the number of people who embrace us are much higher. That our success ratios around the world is growing and growing and growing higher. Because the world today understands that the best form of entrepreneurship, or the only form of entrepreneurship available to the common man and the common woman with the uncommon dream, is network marketing. And the only network marketing companies that are going to survive throughout the future is network marketing companies that are 100% e-commerce, like us. Alright? However, if you are not able to close the person or the prospect immediately at the presentation, and the prospect says, I need time to think about it. Alright? I'll get back to you in a couple of days. Now, those statements of the prospect can be multitude of meanings. Number one, they are saying no in a very culturally polite way. I'll get back to you in a couple of days, and then they never ever will call you back. Alright? Now, my first recommendation to you, alright, is the greatest lesson my mom taught me. My mom taught me one of the most valuable lessons, which I still hold dear today, alright, is that live life according to the worst case scenario. Understand the worst case scenario, and then everything before that, you're cool. So what is the worst case scenario after doing a presentation? The person says no. It's what we call a rejection. Alright, that is the worst case scenario in a presentation. So embrace that as a possibility. Don't get all stressed out. Will they say yes or no, yes or no? Alright, can't sleep the night before. This is not your high school exams. Remember, he or she is not the only prospect. You got 150 names and you're adding 15 names every month. That means your supply of prospects are limitless, guys. So you don't have to get stressed out. I see so many of my downlines after a presentation, calling me, WhatsApping me, messaging me, you know, Chief, I don't know, I think it's going to be a no. I think it's going to be a no. Your negative energy alone is going to create a no. So what you need to do is have a positive belief system that he's going to say yes. And if he says no, be shocked. Because which moron on the planet will say no to the greatest network marketing opportunity? Alright? The e-commerce philosophy of entrepreneurship, the future. Alright? The highest paying commission in the whole industry. The greatest product. Alright? And the greatest company and the greatest founders. Dato Sri Vijay and Japadas Bismarck. However, there are still people who are going to say no. Alright? So my philosophy of follow through is after the presentation, it's exactly like golf. Now you look at golf. I'm a professional. Alright, as all of you may know or may not know, I train Tiger Woods in golf, not on his personal life. Just golf. Alright, you hold a golf club and the ball is there. And there's a small piece of wood or plastic holding it called the tee. T-E-E. I'm educating all of you right now. And the swing of the golf is go back, alright, which is dream, commitment, nameless, dreamless, invitation, prospecting, and then you come down. As you come down, your contact with the golf ball is presentation. Alright? And the biggest, most important rule in golf is the follow through. That your club goes there, and as you come down, you follow through. You hit the ball and you keep going. Alright? You saw my posture? Tiger Woods. Alright? His guru. Alright? In golf, not in personal life. Let me put a caveat there. Alright? And the point is, in network marketing is the same. Alright? If golf, you hit the ball and you stop, the ball is going to go a few inches. Alright? But if you follow through, the ball will go 300 meters. Guys. Alright? And the purpose of you understanding this philosophy of follow through is that the contact, which is presentation, is not complete. If he doesn't say yes on the spot, which is easy, congratulations, you got to sign up. If he says, no, I hate this business in Starbucks, takes the table, throws it down, threatens to beat you up physically and screams, I hate network marketing. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting somewhere. Alright, SW as Dato Sri Vijay taught us. Alright, so, but the complicated ones are those who said, let me think about it. Alright, or let me get back to you. Because it's not a yes, it's not a no, you know. Alright, now the onus of responsibility is on you to follow through with that prospect. He's not a sign up yet, it's still a prospect. You did the presentation, upline supported, everything done beautifully. Now the onus of responsibility is for you to follow through. The first rule of follow through, alright, is don't fear it. Don't fear the outcome. Don't fear anything. Understand what's the worst case scenario, which is a rejection. Embrace it. I don't care, I love it. Alright, and the rest, whatever happens, is just the beauty of your journey. Alright, so first rule is that don't fear it, embrace it. I don't care, I love it. Number two, do it within 24 to 48 hours. Like Act 48 in the beginning. Alright, follow through must be 24, 48 hours. Any longer, that prospect has been sucked back into the world. Alright, the world of non-believers, the world of people who don't understand the power of Qnet. Alright, they're going to be sucked into that world and you will never get them again. Now, how do you follow through? WhatsApp message, personal call. Alright, now when you call the person and the person said, I'm not interested. Alright, don't panic. Don't say, why? Why? Especially if he is a potential sign up to complete one step to earn your first check. I know how painful that is, right? But don't panic. Don't lose posture. Network marketing is all about your posture. Alright? Oh, I'm shocked to hear you say that. I thought we had a great meeting the other day when I presented the business to you. Yes, but can I understand why? Alright, you came to this conclusion, alright, of saying no? Do you understand? See, to me, it's a study, you know. It's a study of human behavior. It's all about statistics. Now, whatever I do, I dance, I sing, okay, alright, I'm not going to be able to convince somebody to change their mind most of the time. Alright, but I want to get to the bottom of it. I want to understand why. Alright, now those are people who say no. Get to the bottom of it. Help understand. And he might come up with a stupid answer. Sorry, I spoke to my wife, she said no. You know what I would say? Can I speak to your wife? Alright, again, no obligation. I will respect your decision. But I want to truly understand why you would say no to this great opportunity. Alright, but say it with posture. Alright, don't say it in a panicky, freaked out voice. As long as you say it with posture. I've said this to a lot of people now. And they said, okay, Pathman, why don't you come home and meet my wife? And I have turned many couples around. Alright, because remember, you try your best to tell them during the presentation, don't talk to anyone until we meet. But today the world has changed. While he's walking out of Starbucks, he's already Googling Qnet. Alright, and if you Google Qnet, depending in which country you are, where we have bigger enemies or non-regulation, there will be good and bad news always. Alright, every company in the world, whether it's Microsoft, Apple, alright, are the best airlines in the world. Every government, every president, every company in the world has good and bad information on Google, the World Wide Web, where there's freedom of speech. Alright, and you can't stop your prospect who didn't say no or yes, who said I'll think about it, to do his or her own research. Now you don't want them to do their research, come to a conclusion and not have an ability for you to come in to give them the facts, the truth about Qnet. Alright, so firstly, 24, 48 hours, alright, call. Now if they have objections, if they are expressing their objections, your goal is to meet, alright, Starbucks, the same place, or Zoom or something. Don't allow them to blow you off on the call or on WhatsApp, guys. Come on. We are international, global businessmen and businesswomen. We also got our pride. If you want to say no, come and tell to my face. You understand? Let's do it on Zoom. I want to understand. Because by reading their body language, so you know where they're coming from. Alright? But always, whatever they say, don't shut them out. Don't say, you're stupid. Of course we are legal. Don't say that. Because you are breaking that tie, you know. Because when you and the prospect started the presentation, now follow through, there is a connection. If you become aggressive, you insult them, you attack them, no matter how proud you are of Qnet, no matter what pride you have, your love for Dato Sri Vijay, for Japa, and let them say, no, I think you are illegal, I think you are scam. Let them say whatever they want. Don't attack. Because when you attack, you are affirming their belief system. Alright? Remember my 3 F's. Feel, felt, found. Whatever my prospect says after the presentation, any objection, my answer is very simple. I know how you feel. Phew, the tension drops. Alright? When I first saw the presentation and went on Google, I felt the same way. Wow, no aggression, no pushy. Embracing, drawing them in Yoda, you understand? Alright? Okay? And then, but you know what I found out? And you see, you have lessened the tension. He dropped the wall because you were not aggressive. And then you can try to address his objection without addressing, but referring to what you experienced and what you found out. And that has the capability of reopening the possibility in his mind. Now, please do it with a bit of class, in a concept of conversation. Don't do feel, felt, found. Hello, your company is illegal. I know how you feel. This is what I felt. This is how I found out. You understand? Next, I got no money. I know how you feel. This is what I felt. This is what I found out. It's not a script. Alright, guys? It has to be in a conversation. Because you see, when that person has an objection, that objection is the face of his decision. An objection is the face of his decision, and if he has an objection, the decision is no. Alright? You want to penetrate that face and try to reverse his decision from no to yes. And that cannot be done by aggression. That cannot be done by proving them wrong. But instead, you are trying to provide more information. Feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. Alright? You're trying to provide more information to open their mind. Alright? And each objection today has its own answer. Alright? You understand? And today, surprisingly, no money is no longer an objection. Alright? Because anyone, if they believe in the business, they believe in the potential of Qnet, and you have explained the potential income under projections, they're going to say yes. Legal, illegal, very common in any business today. Alright, you just have to provide facts, information, amplify the credibility of who we are. QI Tower, Man City, CAF, you understand, VCon, alright, the range of products, 20 over years, guys. Alright, okay, and guys, it's fundamentally important that you maintain posture at all time. Okay, and don't allow that person to walk away, even if he says no. Alright, undeniably the answer is no. Don't allow that prospect to walk away without you correcting their perception. Alright, I respect your decision. But please, again, let me reaffirm to you. Alright, on the fact of legal or illegal. Alright, these are who we are. This is who we are. This is all the information. Because I want the guy to have enough information. So if tomorrow somebody talks about Qnet, right, he will not add on, to the negativity. That you can turn a prospect around. Because remember, every prospect who says no could potentially come back and say yes. And every prospect who says no may talk to your next prospect, Alright, so you want to turn the tide. You want to change their mindset. You want to correct their misinformed perception or reality. Okay? And as long as you do it 24 to 48 hours, alright, very important, address their concerns with information, not emotion. Feel, felt, found, bring down the wall, release the tension so you can get in to change their mind. All right. Try to meet face to face or on Zoom. Again, with no emotion. Try to address. Don't let them walk away with a negative perception of Qnet. Keep them in your KIV list. Keep in view. Never write off a prospect. In my whole career, all right, of 20 over years, so many of my prospects who said no 3 years ago, 4 years ago, have all come back and today are active builders in my organization. You can ask all the V partners. It has happened to us. Never burn the bridge. Keep the string lah. Alright, because he's going to lose his job. Alright, they're going to go back to their pathetic existence of go to work, come back home, go to work, come back home. A pandemic is going to hit, a depression is going to hit, a recession is going to hit, and keep that line. Alright, they will come back. Now, my rule, even if the prospect says no, alright, I will not allow that person to walk away without buying a product, whether it's an RSP product, whether it's a qualifying product, and I want to keep them in the loop, but I don't want to overburden them, alright, with information. Just KIV lah on your name list. You know how important your name list is? But the fact of the matter is, guys, the golden rule that Dato Sri Vijay taught me, don't be attached to your prospect. If he says no, he says no. Move on, alright, that's life. Some will, some won't, so what? Someone's waiting somewhere. And the more time you spend trying to convince him, calling him every week like a stalker. Why? You got another 15 people to talk to this month. Alright, you got another 20 people, you got new markets to open, you got active IRs who would value your time more than a prospect. Now, don't ever fall into this trap that was a good prospect, a great prospect, a fantastic prospect. No such thing, guys. Like I told you many times, alright, don't prejudge negatively and don't anticipate performance. Because some of the most surprising top max out kings and queens, nobody predicted. And some of the people who fit the perfect profile of networker never perform. A prospect is a prospect. Right? Network marketing is equal opportunity, free enterprise. Alright? You can bring anyone in. They follow the system. Alright? But remember, follow through is fundamentally important. Alright? And your job is to give them enough information. Alright? Ask them to bring down their wall so you can step in to change their mind. Alright? If possible. And if they still adamantly say no, I don't care. I love it. Alright? Next. Yes, perfect. No, next, 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 next. Welcome to network marketing. Alright? That your success is not measured by the number of people you sign up, but your true success in Qnet is the number of rejections you have experienced. Because every rejection takes you closer to the ultimate goal of max out. Trust me. Alright? So guys, follow through. Fundamentally important. Do it right. Basic building block number 7. The most underestimated block, but the most important. That is strategize and counsel with upline. Guys, this I cannot emphasize enough. Please listen very carefully to how I explain and describe basic building block number 7, guys. Alright? Strategize and counsel with upline is a golden rule. In network marketing, you come in being referred by somebody. Now that person is referred by somebody else and somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. Now everyone above you, alright, in the tree, from your position, everyone above you is referred to as your upline. Alright, you have your direct referral upline, you have your working upline, you have your mentor upline, you have your iconic upline, you have your grand upline, which is the V, and then you have the founders who are the grandest uplines. But bottom line, throughout your journey from 0 to max out, no matter how long it takes, alright, you have somebody called your working upline. And this working upline is your lifeline. Alright, this person, alright, is the person who's going to hold your hand and take you throughout the journey, okay, wherever your ultimate destination is. However, alright, you need to understand the importance of this relationship. This is fundamentally one of the most important relationships in network marketing. And the strategize and counsel with upline is a consistent, constant attitude. Bottom line, alright, I don't go to the bathroom without counseling with my upline, Dato Sri Vijay. I don't buy a car, the bathroom part is not true. But I don't buy a car, I don't invest in my homes, alright, I don't do anything, I don't travel to any country or do anything in my network marketing journey without counseling with my upline, Dato Sri Vijay. Now the same applies to you. And I don't want you to misunderstand this. This is not a cult. There's a simple logic to this. Now imagine if you want to start a journey from this city to that city. Kuala Lumpur to Singapore. Alright? San Francisco to Washington. Okay? Wherever you want to travel. Okay? From Shanghai to Beijing. Alright? Sydney to Melbourne. And you want to drive. Alright, and you have never been on that road before, but you want to go to that destination. Who should you check with? You will pick up the phone and call somebody who has been on that journey before you, one time or multiple times. And the same principle applies. Your working upline has more experience, more knowledge, and is further down on that road to max out than you are right now. Therefore, their experience of what to avoid, what to expect, alright, is unbelievably valuable. Alright, and you need to basically counsel with them. Because ultimately, this relationship with you, your downlines, your uplines, is a relationship for life. Me and my downlines all over the world, my relationship with my uplines, alright, Dato Sri Vijay and Japadas Bismarck, we are family. Alright, there's a little joke that we all say I love you on the call. Alright, everything, I love you bro. Finish the call, I love you bro. And once I was standing next to somebody say I love you bro, that person looked at me and went like, You understand? Because you spend so much time together, you got a common goal, you got a dream. Alright, you go through challenges together, you overcome challenges together. That relationship is beautiful. But strategize and counsel with upline is fundamental for your business growth. Don't open up a new market without talking to your upline. Alright, don't handle a crisis market without talking to your upline. Alright, don't start a new tracking center without talking to your upline. Alright, where to place who, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, counsel with your upline. Counsel with your upline. You have a bad day, counsel with your upline. But remember the golden rule, negative up, positive down. So no matter how bad your day is, please don't go and vomit out your negativity to your downlines. You're only allowed to vomit to your uplines. And we as uplines have to embrace it, guys. Alright, negative up, positive down. And the purpose of strategizing and counseling with your upline is their experience, their connection back to the V, the grand upline. Alright, to understand what's happening. Now the V, as your grand upline, has built a global organization with over 20 million people over 20 years. That experience in the V partners, the AVPs and V councils, and especially the great ones, our founders, Dato Sri Vijay Ishwar and Japadas Bismarck, is simply unbelievable, guys. So strategize and counsel with your working upline. Now, you may be watching this video and say, oh Chief, I don't have an upline. Keep looking. Go up higher and higher and higher. You will find an upline who's going to guide you, hold your hand, stand by you, but also make you independent, empower you, train you, build you into a warrior to complete your journey from zero to max out. Now this basic building block number 7 is a fundamental understanding of the nature of growth in our business. The transfer of knowledge, the responsibility and accountability of an upline towards a downline. Alright, the respect and edification a downline gives an upline by constantly strategizing and counseling with them. Alright, the transfer of knowledge, alright, all the way, the wisdom from Dato Sri and Japa ultimately travels through the tree and reaches you wherever you are. And it requires you to have an empty cup. It requires you to have that humility, alright, to counsel with your upline constantly. There is a rule in network marketing. Don't try to be smart. Intelligence is not a requirement to max out. the ability for you to humble yourself, empty your cup, counsel constantly with your upline, that is more than enough to take you to max out. Alright, just remember this. Your upline is your lifeline. Your relationship, your connection, the trespass, the open communication, the ability for you to express yourself to your upline is fundamentally important. And the longer you stay away from your working upline, the less you strategize and counsel with your working upline, I guarantee you, you will be lost. That success will not reach you. I've seen this with my own two eyes over 20 years, guys. Alright? Strategize and counsel with your upline constantly and consistently. And remember the golden rule: negative up, positive down. Block number 7. Memorize it. Remember it. Always remember. Strategize and counsel upline. Basic building block number 8. Duplicate. Now this is the fundamental principle of network marketing. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Alright, the biggest mistake you can make in network marketing is to get all the knowledge, all the experience, put it all here, lock and swallow the key. Alright, it totally contradicts the principle of network marketing. Network marketing requires you to share and duplicate. And the purpose why this 8 basic building blocks program is the most important program you will ever need in network marketing, because it is the easiest program to duplicate to your next level, to your next level, to the next level. That this whole program of 8 basic building blocks, if you just finish watching this video, I pray that you'll be able to share it with somebody immediately after watching. Short, sweet, simple, easy to duplicate. Now, what is the principle of duplication? Network marketing requires you to take all your knowledge, all your experience, your do's and don'ts, alright, how you handle crises, challenges, alright, downline, country, legal, whatever, alright, and share it immediately with your next line. So what you need to do in this concept of duplicate is identify your core leadership. It can be 4, 8, 12, 16. Now please don't tell me that I have 100 core leaders, that I know you are lying, alright, because I'm talking about serious core leadership, guys. I'm talking about we partner quality, who are the core leadership of Dato Sri Vijay and Japa. Now once you have identified your core leadership, alright, make them you. Make them clones of you, or even better. That everything you know, every experience, everything transfer to them. Now once you have transferred to your core leadership, alright, they must duplicate the same and transfer to the next level, and the next level, and the next level. Now as you transfer knowledge, as you transfer experience, there's bound to be some leakage here and there. And how do you prevent this? How do you make sure that the duplication in your organization happens perfectly, but more importantly, effectively? And that's where the system comes in. Your events, VTube, VCon, ISB, your own systems, your own leadership camps, all of that, alright, constantly running like a well-oiled machine as the power of duplication happens. Guys, I cannot stress enough the purpose of duplication. Now, why I love network marketing compared to any other concept of entrepreneurship, because this is the only concept of entrepreneurship where you want your downline to be better than you. It is the only concept of entrepreneurship where you give all your knowledge without holding back secrets. Because in traditional business, in employment, your bosses do not want you to supersede them. Your bosses don't want you to be better than them. But in network marketing, guys, alright, I want all of you to be as good and most importantly, better than me as my downlines. Because that's the only way, alright, you achieve financial freedom. That's the only way you can sit on a beach and drink mango juice on an island that you own. Duplication, duplication, duplication. The rules of network marketing is very simple. Don't do anything so complicated, alright, that it cannot be duplicated. Network marketing is not about personalities. It's about a system that can be copied and apply it anywhere and everywhere at any time. This is the philosophy of network marketing. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Now guys, these 8 basic building blocks, starting with the dream, alright, the most powerful fundamental pillar that ignites a fire here, but more importantly here, that you need to find that dream, that you're willing to fight for, you're willing to die for, a dream that keeps you going no matter what. Commitment, alright, commitment to the business by time and hours and effort, alright, commitment to your personal growth, commitment to the system, commitment to your uplines, the V, your system, your organization, and ultimately to Dato Sri Vijay Japa. Alright, but this is a business and it requires commitment from you. That this cannot be a hobby, this cannot be a part-time thing. Alright, no matter how much time you spend on this business, your commitment here must be always full-time. The list, the list, the list, the list. Fundamentals of network marketing. The list of dreams and the list of names. And the list of names I want to emphasize. Minimum 150. Increase by 15 every month, non-negotiable. That list is what's going to get you to max out. Don't be confused. You're not going to max out accidentally. You're going to max out by doing what you need to do. Presentation, follow through, sign up of everyone on the list, and you will find your max out kings and queens on your left and right, which automatically takes you to the next level and faster towards max out. Inviting and prospecting, guys. The art of invitation. I started a business. I'm looking for a few strategic partners. I partnered with a fantastic e-commerce company in Hong Kong, and I got a few positions left open for somebody to join me. Can we meet for coffee? Remember, the purpose of the invitation, alright, is to get the person to sit in front of you, get the person on a Zoom call, get the person to a presentation. Now your brother, sister, best friend, hey, shut up, come right now, I need to talk to you. And they will come. Alright, prospecting, the never-ending journey of keeping your radar on. Because every potential person you add to your list could be the next Arun, Adli, Sati, David, Dave Wadwani, Dave, Joel. Alright, it could be any one of these people, guys. Alright, because prospecting is the fundamental DNA of a networker. That everyone we see, I see a max out king. Anyone I meet, I see a max out, potential max out queen. Alright, so remember, your name list needs to grow by 15 names every month. And then presentation, guys. Alright, stay within that rubber band. Don't breach the code of ethics. Don't lie. You don't need to lie. Alright, the truth will set you free. The truth is powerful enough for people to sign up. Alright, with Qnet. Alright, the most amazing network marketing company in the industry. Alright, remember, company, product, compensation plan, projections to create that excitement. Sign them up one-on-one. Yes, no, move on. Alright, big, huge presentations works in certain markets and certain groups. Home meetings, one of my favorites. Inviting people home, but maintain the decorum of professionalism. Have a whiteboard, have a screen, have a projector, dress up properly. Don't serve heavy meals, or not they'll come for the food, not for the business. Using technology, Zoom, Skype, alright, FaceTime, any of the available platforms, Microsoft Teams, because the world is changing and people are embracing this philosophy of talking to each other on video, and the presentations I have been doing on video even more effective in my opinion than one-on-one, guys. So embrace technology and then follow through. Remember golf. The point the club hits the ball, that's the presentation. But if you want that ball to go far, you have to follow through, guys. Follow through is ultimately 24, 48 hours. Alright, fundamentally important. Okay, feel, felt, found. Don't address it with your emotions, address it with facts, the truth. Ultimately, when you get them to bring down their rejection wall, you can go in and change their mind. I've done it thousands of times. But remember, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting somewhere, guys. I don't care. I love it. Because you got tons of prospects waiting for you. Don't get attached to a rejection. Don't let a rejection impact you. And then, block number 7, strategize and counsel with your upline fundamentally important. Your upline is your lifeline. Anything you're unsure, counsel. Every move you make, every new market, moving to a new market, starting a new market, placing a tracking center, whatever it is. All right, buying a car, buying a house, getting married, having kids, all of this. Strategize and counsel with your upline, because they will at least be able to tell you the truth of what is the consequence of your decision and prepare you better for that. All right, like how until today, after 20 over years, every move I make, I counsel with my grand upline, Dato Sri Vijay Ishwaran, the greatest upline ever. And then guys, come to block number 8, which I'm talking about right now. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. The greatest compliment you can get. And I still remember the first day I signed up, Dato Sri Vijay said, the day you can fly, Pathman, is when you create 1,000 Pathmans. When you create 1,000 Pathmans, you have created history in the industry of network marketing. Duplicate, 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 guys. All right, give all your knowledge and give some more. All right, the better your downlines become, the faster you achieve financial freedom. I love you guys.